For sale by owner always fails. Here's my experience and my reasoning. I made a video last year just about the pros and cons of selling your own home, and I even gave sellers tips on how to sell your own home at the end of the video. I've learned a lot since that video. It's been about 18 months. I usually joke about how realtors don't add any value. There's too many realtors. I've worked with a lot of them. I'm a realtor myself. A lot of realtors are dumb. The barrier to entry is too easy. It took me 3 months to get my realtor license. But also, I quickly learned you're not very good at selling your own home either. It's crazy to think how many people say just because I'm a homeowner, I know how to buy, sell, and market. They say just get a lawyer. A lawyer will do everything for you. Just sell your house, get a lawyer to do everything else. You'll be very disappointed to learn that a lawyer does very little. I was surprised to see how many emails and messages I got. I got over 50 emails, mainly from two separate people. One, it's like, hey, I'm a for sale by owner. It's not selling. Can you help? And two, saying, hey, dude, you're wrong. I sold my own house. I saved thousands. I made hundreds of thousands. I got it under value, over value, and it was the best deal ever. Okay, so then I started to ask the latter, that group that said they sold their own house. I was like, send me your house. Let me just see if you sold it for more than the comparable units. And they all said no. They weren't willing to face the truth just to find out if they actually got a deal or if they screwed themselves by doing it themselves. The first group, I think it was about 16 people selling their own house. 6 of them were from Toronto, and I ended up selling their house for them. So they were for sale by owners. It wasn't working out. They reached out to me and I sold their properties. I always like to ask those people, like, hey, where did you get this information? Why did you want to sell your own house? What's been your experience? Where did you get all these details from? And they all said, like, the internet, it was Reddit, it was red flag deals, or it was just like their colleagues. My favorite thing about people's stories, like their anecdotes, it's always, oh, my cousin's sister's uncle's UPS driver, he sold his own house, he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. He sold it above market value, then he bought a new house on his own, he got it under market value. I asked them, did you see any proof? Did they show you the numbers? Did they show you how to do it? They all said no. So then I went on to Reddit. I ended up finding these FSBO posts. I asked everyone who made these recommendations, like, hey, I sold my own house. You can do it too. I made a lot of money. So I asked, like, hey, can you just tell me the address? I just want to know. I just want to see. Did you end up getting a good deal? Did you end up making a lot of money? No one was willing to give their information. They didn't even live there anymore. I'm like, I don't want to know your new address. Show me the old one. You said you made a lot of money. I want to see proof. They all said no. So here's what I did. I created a fake account and I started pestering them again. I started asking, just like, what was your number? Like, hey, I'm a for sale by owner. I want to know, how did it work out? When I saw the addresses, when I saw the numbers, I ended up showing them, like, hey, you actually did worse off. Like, these are the comparables. You sold less than the comparables. Then I found out something I wasn't expecting. I got this comment on my YouTube video as well. They mainly said, it's not that I made more money, it's that nobody made money off of me. I didn't care, or I don't care, that I made less money selling the house. I just don't want realtors to make the money. That threw me for a curveball. Threw me for a curve. Is that the word? Is that the saying? I wasn't expecting something like that. It's a part of human psychology, like I haven't tapped into yet. I just don't have any experience yet. But people are willing to be in a worse off position just to prove a point. Back to the for sale by owners and why it's not working out. Just some examples of my clients or the sellers that I've worked with. So 6 of them were in Toronto. Most of them were outside of Ontario, where I'm a realtor, so I'm not able to charge any commission, but I was genuinely trying to help. The main issue I found was greed. They wanted to sell for the same price as every other unit that had a realtor, but they wanted to save the realtor fees. So it was greed. It was pretty much not willing to spend any money at all. So it comes with a special type of person. They want to save on the entire deal, so they don't put any money into staging or photos or marketing, and they're wondering why it's not working, why it's not selling. What people have to realize is that the buyers have the same information you do. They know the seller's saving 5%. They want part of that savings too. The sellers, for sale by owners, think it's a win-win. Like, hey, I'm selling it myself. I want the 5%, the buying side and the selling side. But the buyers want a deal as well. They know you're getting a deal. Also, sellers, if you're wondering why realtors aren't showing your unit, I know they're not supposed to do this, but you need to offer a commission. So you're not really saving that 5%. You might save 2.5% because this is the realtor's job. I'm not here to argue about the value, whether it's worth 2.5%, but if you don't offer 2.5%, why would a realtor show their clients your unit when they're not going to make any money off of it? This is their living. This is how they make money. So I did make a brief list that I wrote down. I am going to show you a few examples on MLS of current units, or no, just like units I stumbled upon. I spent 5 minutes doing a search, just some units that aren't working out. And I'll just show you why. I just want to show you the time frame of how long. Maybe I'll try to show the poor pictures. Maybe I'll try to show how long they've been on the market. In Toronto, if it doesn't sell within 3 weeks, to me, it's overvalued, especially considering it's a seller's market. But I'll just give some examples. The list goes poor pictures, poor marketing, poor pricing, poor strategy, no time to do showings, no understanding of conditions, and no understanding of the law. That final one was the biggest one. I'm going to log into MLS right now. I had it open in the background, but now it logged me off because I took too long to make this video. I'm going to show you some examples of just units not working out. All right, going through the first example, I'm going to blur out the names and the units and the location. I just don't want to get in trouble, but I just want to give you some examples. The average days on market, I'm even going to say, I'm not going to say 14 days, which I could probably sell a unit 7 to 14 days. So if we say, let's say 21 days, I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. Average days on market to sell, 21 days. We look over here, 51 days, and it's been terminated, so it didn't sell. And then they relisted it. 121 days, and it expired. It didn't sell. And then they relisted it again. 45 days, and it was terminated. All the while, prices going up and down. If I were a buyer and I saw this, I sense desperation. They've been trying to sell this for about a year now, and it's been failing. They don't understand proper pictures, poor pricing, poor strategy all around. Now I sense desperation where it's been relisted 3 times. They aren't going to do well on this unit. They are going to miss out. Next example. Again, I'm going to blur everything out, but here, 14 days, which is not bad. Terminated. I don't know why I was terminated after such a short amount of time. 153 days. Terminated. It didn't sell. They relisted again. And keep in mind, it's vacant this entire time. So while, let's say in 6 months, the property value went up, they are losing money on the maintenance fees, the mortgage, and the property taxes. They relisted again. 2 days, status is new. They have a realtor now. It still is vacant, but they realized the mistakes of their ways. Maybe if this sells before I release this video, I will go back to see what the price is with a realtor. So they tried twice without a realtor, 14 days, 153 days, and now they have a realtor. Next unit, 14 days, terminated. Relisted, 10 days, terminated. Relisted 61 days. Relisted again, 28 days. Terminated, it is not for sale anymore. This is 180 days, or 6 months or so. And this is in 2021. So they're trying to sell by themselves. They don't know what they're doing, and it's not working out. Next unit, listed 28 days, terminated at 579. Relisted at 649, 14 days, terminated. The unit has not sold. They're trying to sell it on their own, and it's not working out. Next unit. This one is interesting. It's for sale. I think this was listed 4 times. 7 days, terminated. Don't know what happened. 13 days, terminated. I guess they got better pictures. Price change. 62 days, price change again. Terminated. Price change again. 89 days. Keep in mind, it's been vacant this entire time. So on top of paying $441 a month on the maintenance fees. You also have to take into account $2,000 a year taxes and then mortgage and interest. So just a few examples of people trying to sell on their own. Just take a look at the amount of time and the amount of redos they have to do. Poor pricing, poor strategy all around. The strategy is lowball and let people offer and let people bid it up. Some people, it's clear with the amount of pricing changes, people are trying to get the maximum value. And they say, hey, if it's 900,000, my neighbor sold for 900,000, I want 900,000. But then people see your unit on the market for 3, 4, 5 weeks at 900,000. Why would I give what you're asking for? Why would I bid above? I know you're starting to get desperate. I would underbid. I'd undercut the asking price to try to get a deal. It's how it works, and it works out for me every single time. Again, I'm not saying you'll never do better or do well for sale by owner, selling your own house, buying your own place, but I'm confident in saying 90% of the time, it's not going to work out. Unless you have the industry knowledge, you just don't have the knowledge. A lot of people ask me, like, what are conditions? What conditions can I do? I want someone to offer with no conditions. Someone's offering on my unit with a status certificate condition, but I don't want to accept it. I want no conditions. I hear everyone's getting no conditions, but then you don't realize that, have you researched, have you looked up your own status certificate? They'll say no. And it's like, wait, so you don't know the condo corp of your building. You don't know if it's doing well. How's your reserve fund? Are there any issues? Are there any lawsuits? Is your building potentially blacklisted by mortgage companies? They don't know any of this information. They can't answer. It doesn't make a buyer feel very confident. It doesn't make a buyer feel good to buy from the owner when they don't really know what they're doing. And it's clear they don't know what they're doing. Another thing I found is no one is willing to be at home and doing all the showings for everyone. They try to say, hey, I'm working from 9 to 5. Even though I'm home, I don't want you coming in while I'm working. I have a meeting. Can you come after? They're not working around the buyer's showing time. They're working around their own showing time, which doesn't work out. If you want to sell your unit, you have to accommodate the buyer. I feel like I'm going to try to cut this off now. I can feel like I can ramble for hours. But yeah, just my experience on forced sale by owner, it's not working out. It's kind of the same thing with buyers. Buyers are quickly realizing sellers aren't willing to give you a discount if you come without a realtor. People are coming up with like, hey, you're selling for $1 million. Give it to me for $975. I don't have a realtor. But it's like, if 10 people are offering me $1 million and you're the one offering for $975, if I'm going to end up in the same place with all 10, why would I go with you? They don't realize that you're getting a discount as the buyer if we skip the realtor, but the seller's not. Seller's not saving any money. So they want to meet in the middle. Even though the buyer thinks they're saving 2.5, maybe you should offer 1% less, maybe 1.5. You have to give some incentive for someone to want to give you that discount. They have to get a discount as well. Again, see, I'm rambling. I should kind of cut this off now. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Let me know your experience. And if you say it worked out for you, I'm not going to respond until you give me your address, because I need proof. I need numbers. I'm a proof guy. Everyone I asked, hey, show me that you did better, they all say no, and we know why. Thanks for watching, and tune into the next one.